DeepSeek crashed NVIDIA over 17% yesterday. Are AI stocks in trouble, or is this just a short-term issue and everything is going to get resolved? Is DeepSeek actually a huge problem for the market, or are we going to be in full force for the year? That's the questions I'm getting asked. So, listen, on January 20th, a Chinese company called DeepSeek made headlines by releasing their R1 large language model, a supposed rival to ChatGPT, and it's taken the market by absolute storm, partly because it was built for just $6 million. I'm going to talk about if it's actually built for $6 million, but I want to address the broader question of what you should be doing with your money and what I'm doing with my NVIDIA shares. Because something I didn't show you guys is I put $1 million into Tesla, but I also have $1 million in NVIDIA. And yesterday, we kind of got robbed in the market. SoFi specifically had amazing results, got robbed. NVIDIA went down more than it's been down in a single day since like 2020. What's shocking is the claims that have been done by DeepSeek, the Chinese company. They're basically giving a middle finger to US and saying we can build everything that you can build for cheaper. All right, so this is an issue, and this is part of the reason why NVIDIA fell 17%. It was aiming for a $4 trillion market cap, right? And this development of DeepSeek really raises some questions for future demand for GPUs. If China can achieve groundbreaking results with lower cost hardware, what does that mean for the AI race? Does that mean that US is screwed, or is China actually kind of BSing? So first of all, I am going to call BS later in this video, but I want to get to the point. I want to give you all of my research. So in this video, to paint a good picture of what I think is going to happen with NVIDIA, so I want to first cover another bull, Dan Ives. He has been talking about the AI revolution. He has a lot of experience in the space of AI, Palantir, NVIDIA. And what he said in a recent clip, I think paints the picture perfectly, and I want to talk about it. But first, let's watch this quick clip.
A notable bull on many of these companies, many of the technologies that are at the center of the meltdown today. Does this worry you?
I mean, in my view, it's a top 3 buying opportunity that I've seen in the last decade for tech. And the reason I'm saying that, I spent the whole weekend talking to tech executives, CIOs, individuals that I know that are going down the sort of AI arms race or going through use cases. In no way of really 25 companies does this change their sort of plans, and a lot of these could be 7, 8, even upper 8-figure type budgets. I just continue to view this as it's a model, and a lot of the details I think still need to be vetted out in terms of 6 million. Do they actually have the H100s, how they actually built it? But this is something we're going to look back on, and I think the street and the market got this way wrong. In no way does it dent our bull thesis. That's what we've been telling clients really since the weekend. These are the times you own these names.
Dan, not all of the companies at the center of the sell-off today are necessarily affected the same way. Mm-hmm. Chip stocks, NVIDIA, Kelly mentioned it, $500 billion in market cap lost. That's more than the size of ExxonMobil. That's roughly the size of United Health Group in terms of an entire company lost in market value. Some are affected more than others. Mega cap technology, not as much so across the board as, say, NVIDIA per se. When this is a buying opportunity, how much of a buying opportunity and how specific do you have to be?
Well, first on NVIDIA, that continues to be, I think, the golden goose in terms of what Jensen and that company are ultimately. There is one chip in the world. There's one GPU that's fueling AI, and it's NVIDIA. And when you think about these build-outs, when we talk about the enterprise, the $2 trillion of AI CapEx next 3 years, that doesn't change from DeepSeek. We're talking about 1/1000th of ultimately the build-out that you're going to need for a lot of these enterprise use cases. You look at names like Palantir, you look at the hyperscalers. I could argue with inferencing, if you actually think costs are coming down, it's actually bullish for even some of the software players, names like Salesforce, ServiceNow, Oracle, and others. I just think this is one, when you look at NVIDIA, I think we sit here 6, 9, 12 months from now and look at this as a moment. It was a golden buying opportunity, and in no way changes our bull thesis for where this is all headed.
Okay, so this clip is really important because Dan Ives is speaking from experience that NVIDIA is a top 3 buying opportunity in the last decade. Now, NVIDIA in the last decade has been a lot cheaper of a stock, so I don't know if I fully agree with Dan Ives on this being a top 3 buying opportunity, but I would call it a top 10 buying opportunity because it's pulled back like so many billions of dollars. And part of that is algorithmic trading, okay, on Wall Street. I know you guys think that you're trading with other humans. You're not. You're trading with other algorithms, okay? So a lot of it is algorithmic trading, and when a stock dips and the momentum will really trigger a lot of algorithmic traders to sell off. And when I say traders, I mean algorithms themselves. So when they spot that type of activity, they dump. They dump because, well, there's stop losses in place and all kinds of orders like that from hedge funds, from pension funds, from mainly hedge funds, okay, because they're looking to hedge. That's the why they're called hedge funds. So AI, like past trends, what Dan I was just talking about, like internet companies, the dot-com bubble, will likely experience cycles of hype and correction before long-term growth stabilizes. Long-term growth for NVIDIA is still intact. I still think NVIDIA is going to crush it with GPUs. Just because we have DeepSeek that came out, it's actually a very big positive, because what you see from DeepSeek, and I'll talk about this in just a moment, it's actually a positive, because if China can do it so cheap, now we have a new race in America, a new, even more competitive race. So competition breeds more innovation. So this is a fantastic thing, and I'm bullish, but I'm taking the middle ground here, a middle ground approach in the short term, and I'll explain to you and go over more facts, okay? But first, I'm going to read my research here. Concerns about unverified Chinese accounting practices and potential access to restricted NVIDIA H100 GPUs via black market is a rumor, but I personally believe myself that China does have access, okay? If you look at NVIDIA, 22% of sales is coming from Singapore, and Singapore geographically is very close to China. So listen, we're dealing with China here. So what do you think? I do think that they have the top level GPUs, and they didn't really just build this with the H80s, okay, or the older GPUs. They actually probably built it with newer GPUs. And by the way, $6 million is, okay, listen, it's kind of like a fake number, okay? Why is it fake? It's like bringing a NFL player and telling him to be a track runner, and then giving him a coach, a cheap coach, and then that guy becomes a good track runner. Well, he was already an athlete, right? So the same thing with DeepSeek. Yeah, of course, you put the best people to work that have already been in the AI space for a long time. They're going to build something pretty big because they have the dream team, kind of like Elon and Trump, which, by the way, looks like that relationship is shaking out a little bit. I was looking at some news, but that's for another video. Look, the fact is DeepSeek's success has motivated researchers globally to explore efficient techniques, reinforcing the cycle of rapid AI advancement and redefining the competition and redefining the competitive landscape. So this is going to be bad news in the short term. In the midterm, it's going to be pretty neutral news because it's going to lead to more innovation. But in the long term, this is great for the AI race for humanity. It's good for the AI race worldwide. Like, I'm really happy. I can bear some short-term market pullback. For the long term, we're in a bigger trajectory. We're in a bigger AI growth phase. We're in bigger GDP expansion. We have this is an amazing opportunity. And this wiped out a lot of market cap, but long term, it's only proof of how valuable AI is. I'm super happy. I'm grateful for the pullback because I also get to purchase stocks for cheaper. Okay, I have a lot of money in NVIDIA. I don't put it out everything on this channel, right? I have some stuff in my private community, stuff in my private Discord, and NVIDIA is a really big position for me. So, in many ways, I've lost probably more money than a majority of people, 99.9%, because I have like a good 7-figure amount in NVIDIA, but I'm doing nothing. And I'm actually planning to buy more NVIDIA. And I almost purchased yesterday, but I can't because proper risk management would say I can't really have more than 20% of my money in a single stock. So I'm already probably a little bit above 20% on NVIDIA. So I'm very heavy on NVIDIA. So for risk management purposes, I can't, but I am doing covered calls. I'll show you what that looks like and what covered calls I would do, as well as selling puts. I mean, the strategies that I would use right now would be covered strangles, the wheel strategy, selling puts, covered calls, okay, leaps, pretty much the whole kitchen sink. I'll show you that at the end of this video. I want to go through a little bit more research right here. DeepSeek developed a GPT-4 class AI model at just 10% of the typical cost, achieving efficiency unseen in Silicon Valley, which relies on multi-billion-dollar budgets. Now, it's kind of interesting because US is like a power player in technology, right? This is the number one, well, America is the number one place for tech, right? However, they do kind of like gatekeep a lot of information, right? Like OpenAI, they were trying to go private. They're trying to gatekeep information from outside countries, which makes sense. Okay, if you have a secret formula, a secret sauce, you're going to want to hide that, right? So that's pretty obvious there. But it does seem like the innovation coming from America is copied by China, and then they get a lot of the benefits. So the R&D spending that America has for tech, China gets to copy and see the idea and then do it for a fraction of the cost, which is a big downside for America since they are spending a lot of money on innovation. So in the long-term grand scheme of things, NVIDIA is still going to dominate, and NVIDIA dominates the high-performance GPU market, which is crucial for the AI model training and inference. Their GPUs like A100, H100, and upcoming Blackwell, which I'm really excited about. The upcoming Blackwell architecture, I'm telling you, is going to be a huge game changer. I think, we're in this curve right now, this exponential growth. I'm super excited for it, all right? I'm really excited for this exponential growth to still come. And Blackwell architecture, these are the gold standards, okay, for AI computation. So we really don't have a plan B, okay? There is no plan B. We can't invest in DeepSeek. We can't, I wouldn't invest in China in general, right? I used to be a neo bull. I'm no longer a neo bull. I had, some other Chinese stocks. I no longer do, and I have not. Not even 2024. All of 2024, I didn't really even make a neo video because it was a good stock, made money on it. No longer because China, it's a hard place to invest in. So I'm sticking more domestically in the United States. So I'm not very concerned over NVIDIA's long-term success because I did a lot of research. It took me a whole day to make this video because I didn't want to make a generic video like everyone else about DeepSeek. I actually wanted to understand, is this a threat? Is this a short-term bump? And for me, it is short-term. I think that we're going to see some cycles, but in the long term, NVIDIA is going to be $4 trillion and $5 trillion valuation in just a matter of time. And the demand for AI training and inference workloads is growing exponentially, like I said. So from startups like DeepSeek to tech giants like OpenAI, Google, and Meta, nearly every single major AI lab relies on NVIDIA GPUs. All right. So we saw some concerns from Microsoft not needing as many GPUs. This is all short-term stuff, all right? And I'm not a short-term investor. I use options to create long-term income. All right, let's go over my portfolio. You'll actually notice that my portfolio has done very well in the pullback. It's so crazy. I'm actually flat. My 1-month results are actually not that bad, all right? Considering this huge AI pullback, I think people probably lost a lot of money. My portfolio is doing very good, actually. I'm very hedged, and that's because of a lot of my positions are hedged. Like I have covered calls, I have sell puts, all that good stuff. So look, let's go to NVIDIA, and then let's talk about the leap options that I would be purchasing right now. I have several different option positions, but let's talk about selling puts. Let's talk about covered calls and the strike prices that I would pick, all right? So first of all, NVIDIA is already kind of popping up here in pre-market, right, at 6:30 a.m. for me. In the United States. I'm abroad. I like living in Europe because I like it, but I might come back to Florida at some point. February 21st would be the expiration that I would go for. And I can't imagine NVIDIA going much lower. I really can't. These options are up 1,000%. And this is just an example of, let me scroll up here. There was a little glitch there. Now these options are up, 40 something percent now, but an option can be up or down 1,000% when an unexpected move like this happens. Listen, there was no way to predict this. When you look at SoFi, I was absolutely right on what would happen with earnings, but I don't want to play victim here, but I sort of did get robbed that the market tanked because I was right on SoFi, and then ended up happening that we have this huge pullback. Look, I look dumb, but it's not about my ego. Just telling you how it is. NVIDIA's options are like, okay, 200. Okay, that's why they're so expensive. I was thinking, why the heck are they so expensive? I meant to look at the 120. So the 120 strike here, 1,000%. All right, I would look at selling this put option because it's unlikely NVIDIA is going to go that much lower. NVIDIA already basically crashed. That's literally a crash, right? So now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be selling a put option. Why? Because I want to buy NVIDIA bicep over tricep. I got you. I'm just having fun. I'm trying to buy bicep over tricep, try to have a good time here, but I'm also trying to make some money. All right, we're trying to make some money. NVIDIA 120 sell put, the premium of $8 is roughly a 6% return. 6 times 12 is 72, right? So this is over a 12% return. It's like a 13% return in 24 days. So you're literally getting paid to buy NVIDIA at 120. It's at like 124-ish, right? Pre-market, we're already seeing it go up. So my number one strategy would be selling puts because long-term, the bull case is still intact, all right? Number two, I would also, I have some of my students that have smaller accounts. I usually like to work with students that have bigger accounts because my coaching is full. So when I have an open spot, it is easier to work with a bigger portfolio. But, for a put credit spread, which a big account can also do, you can sell the 115 put option, right? Why would I go for 113? Well, 115. Well, it's just lower than the current price of 123. It's out of the money. It's unlikely Nvidia will go lower than 120, but 115 is a little bit extra safety, so you can sell the 115, then you can buy the 110, and now you'll see that the total credit here is roughly $180, and your max loss is 320. So obviously, if Nvidia goes down, this is a bullish strategy, and you will lose money if it goes down. If NVIDIA goes sideways or up, then this is a 24-day play where you can make $180 on 320. I know 180, half of 360 is 180, half of 320 is 160. So this is over 50%, over 50. So over 50% return. I mean, you're telling me this is a bad thing that happened in the market? This is an opportunity. This is a good opportunity to make money. Imagine you have a 100K portfolio in 24 days, you got 150K. You'd be pretty, I'm at a loss of words, you can tell. Be pretty happy, right? So I would do that. I would also jump into a leap option, right? I wouldn't go too crazy if you already have a big position. Then, like me, I can't even go into NVIDIA because I already have a huge position. You can actually see here that I have some 130 leaps myself, which are now like below. That's kind of not too fun there. But look, I also have some 120 calls here. You can see +7, +3. So look, you can go for 130, you can go for 120. Obviously, I expect a huge recovery, so let's just say 130. The leap option here is going to go for $16.50. So look, the break even is going to be 146. Can NVIDIA be a $150 to $200 stock by September? Yes, it can. This is not really a big deal that it fell down. Like, it'll come up as quickly as it fell down. I'm telling you, it's going to come up as quickly as it fell down. And the fact is, China's role in AI development actually increases market uncertainty, which is why NVIDIA fell. But the market, I'm telling you, it's an overreaction because the market is mixed. They don't really know, right? Again, a lot of algorithmic funds were selling this stock. And the reason why it went down is also because of uncertainty. DeepSeek's advancements, I'm going to look at my research here. DeepSeek's advancements highlight the potential for Chinese companies to rival Western AI development with fewer resources. The fewer resources part is the scary part for the United States. It's because when you can use a lot less energy and you don't even have all the chips, right? We don't know if they have all the chips. They most likely don't have the capacity US has, obviously, but they probably have some of the chips. But with using fewer resources, this is really crazy. And NVIDIA's sales to China are already restricted under US export controls, limiting access to advanced GPUs like the H100. If DeepSeek or other Chinese firms have access to black market H100s or can achieve comparable results with older hardware, it could undermine China's dependence on, or it could undermine, I should say, NVIDIA's growth perspectives because, there's going to be demands met for GPUs elsewhere, and maybe there's going to be alternatives, or maybe there's just less demand overall. Again, that is a problem. However, I believe that is now more than priced in, and I always thought this, like, it can't be a one-man show the whole time. NVIDIA is going to have more competition, whether it's AMD or even Intel, which I doubt, but Intel might go out of business. But, they're going to have competition, and the DeepSeek is a disruptor to the market, and it's a disruptor to NVIDIA, and obviously NVIDIA does deserve to go down. Now, does it deserve to go down 17%? I think it's a market overreaction. The 17% drop in NVIDIA stock is like a knee-jerk reaction to the news, which often happens during market disruptions. But historically, NVIDIA rebounds stronger after similar moments. We've seen this across the board of all tech companies. Meta had some really bad times at one point, and Meta recovered like 4x, right, in a few years. So scaling AI is no joke, and even if DeepSeek can innovate with lower cost GPUs, scaling these models for broader use, from enterprises to consumer-facing applications, it's still going to require high-performance GPUs like NVIDIA's H100s and the future Blackwell. Okay, as soon as Blackwell comes to the future, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot of demand, a lot of purchases, and this little bump in the road is not going to be as impactful. Okay, that's the word for it. Impactful on NVIDIA. So I want to talk a little bit about the China factory because China's AI advancements are undoubtedly impressive. I have to give it to them. I love having China innovate, by the way, because at the end of the day, it makes your life and my life better because there's more innovation, more technology, and that's what I care about. I mean, it would be really cool actually if this would never happen, but if every country was on the same side, imagine Russia, China, US, Western Europe, Middle East, everyone was on the same side and we're all like, how do we solve AI together? How do we cure diseases together? But of course, it's all about the money. It's all about politics and money and status and power. So you get a whole bunch of conflicts, right? But you can't really have one huge government anyways. That would be kind of, I don't know. What I'm saying is it would be better if people teamed up together versus secrets, and then everyone's spending a bunch of money and then fighting each other. It's how I guess humans are. I want to talk about efficiency versus scale. DeepSeek may have proven efficiency at low cost, but when it comes to scaling across industries like healthcare, robotics, or autonomous vehicles, obviously NVIDIA is going to crush that, right? Because Tesla's homegrown. Tesla's homegrown. They build a bicep over tricep on the Tesla side, right? And I think that's going to be a huge advantage for America because a company like Tesla, like Elon Musk, the leader, him helping United States with this data is incredibly important. I'm telling you, this isn't in the news yet, but it's pretty obvious. Data is the new oil, and the AI is linked with the data advantage. The more data you have, the more you can train the model. So feeding the model data is really important, and US has the most data for lots of different things, a lot of things, robotics, automation, healthcare. Right? We have a lot of data. So, I want to talk about open source's role. So the open source nature of DeepSeek's model is a double-edged sword. It's good and bad, okay? It accelerates global AI development, but also solidifies the demand for reliable, high-performance GPUs, all right? Now, in terms of the AI gold rush, which is what we're in right now, the AI market is still in its early stages. So, again, we're going to experience volatility. Don't have all your eggs in one basket. Dollar cost average. Use covered calls. Use sell puts. I didn't show you a covered call, by the way. Honestly, on NVIDIA, it's too late for covered calls. I had covered calls, which is why I saved a lot of money. You saw I don't have much volatility in my portfolio. I saved a lot of money, but it's too late. You don't want to do a covered call at this moment because when the stock recovers, inevitably, you don't want a covered call because the covered call is going to work against you, right? It's gonna hinder your upside movement, so it's not good. So looking at businesses and governments in the West, trust and compliance, security, and reliability plays a significant role. NVIDIA has a clear advantage here compared to the opaque practices of companies like DeepSeek. So we don't know to what degree DeepSeek will be adopted. It is the #1 on the App Store, so it doesn't look, fantastic for NVIDIA right now. So I would still buy NVIDIA hand over fist, though. I still would. Bicep over tricep. I still would because long term it's intact, the growth story. But obviously you're going to experience volatility. So the long term game here is while I understand the market's reaction, I believe this is a moment of validation for AI's explosive potential. It only proves the point that AI is the freaking trend of 2025, which is what I say in like almost all my videos. AI is the way to go, and you should have a big portion of your portfolio in it. So this is only proof that AI is groundbreaking, important avenue and sector to invest in. So I don't got a plan B. I don't own real estate. I don't have anything else. I use all my money, every freaking penny I have, in options. This is what I believe in. So I don't have a plan B. I don't think you should have a plan B. Dollar cost average in the long-term view is still the same. So although they kind of robbed me on SoFi, same view there as well. So I'll make some more videos on SoFi, on NVIDIA, on how we can make money in this market. And my portfolio has actually done very well. So I think it would be wise for you to smash that subscribe button so you can get bigger biceps, more money, and we can all make money together, grow, and get better as humans. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.